What is up, everybody? I am RenaMarq, your modern Renaissance content creator, your friendly neighborhood content creator, and welcome back to another episode of Per-Sception. Now, this episode, I have to say, is one of my most anticipated, one I'm actually nervous to do, because sitting with me is someone that inspires me in my day-to-day content creation, and someone who is just a big inspiration to me and how I create content and how I move through Twitch and I move through YouTube and other content. It is somebody who is, to me, a beauty guru, just as hilarious as she is a great gamer, just as hilarious she is an amazing content creator, an amazing streamer, an amazing TikToker, an amazing roller skater. I literally, her bio, I believe on Twitch says, she does a little bit of everything. And if that ain't fucking true, I don't know what is. One of the greatest people on this platform, and one of the most not afraid to be unapologetically herself on this platform. And that is something that I inspire to always be, and helps me realize that you can really truly be yourself on this platform and still see levels of success. I welcome y'all to the Per-Sception episode today. BettyNixx, how you doing?
That was I've never heard an intro like that for me, and that was probably one of the best that I've heard thus far. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I thank you for being on, and I know that was my introduction and my giving you flowers, but how would you introduce yourself?
Oh, not as great as that. I am very, I guess you can say, humble with my introductions. And as you said, my bio on Twitch says I do a bit of everything. It's very hard for me to describe myself. So it's easier for me to take what other people says about me and use that as my introduction. But yeah, I am very much all over the place is my first thing I'm going to say. I do a lot of things, many things: hair, makeup, roller skating, gaming. What else do I do?
Everything.
I don't know. Everything. I do a lot of things, a whole lot of things. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course, and I'm so honored to have you. And I always want to start with the cliche, right? I always want to start, and then we'll get into more details and everything of that nature from here. But I always like to hear the origin of behind your content and why you do what you do and how you got started. So why did you, get started doing gaming content and beauty content, like makeup and hair and everything else? Like, what made you want to go this route and kind of be a person that fuses the two, that people can go for both gaming and beauty?
Well, I was doing hair before I even got on Twitch, and I didn't know what Twitch was until maybe 2017. But before that, like for a couple of years, I think I started making like wigs and stuff in maybe 2014. Okay. Because I was broke. So I was like, I'm gonna just go to the hair store, get some hair, watch some videos, and teach myself how to make my own wigs. So I started making my own wigs, and then maybe a few years later, I started like watching a lot of gaming content on YouTube because growing up, I'm probably older than a lot of the people that watch me, but me coming up, from like graduating from college and then going straight into working, I wasn't into watching YouTube like that. So a lot of the people who everyone knows and has loved for years, I'm just now getting introduced to them maybe a few years ago.
Right.
So once I started watching like YouTube videos, maybe in like 2016, 2017, I would say 2017, I was like, I could do that. And
Right.
around that time, I was also like really into fitness. And I was like, I wonder if I should like make fitness videos. And I was asking people around me, would you be interested in seeing me do some fitness videos? And would you be interested in seeing me do like wig tutorials? Because I would do them and I would post them on Instagram, but I didn't do them like consistently.
Right.
And a lot of people would ask, like, I had people paying me to make them wigs.
Wow.
So I was like, I can do like tutorials and stuff because I would see people do it anyway on Instagram. So I said I could do this too. And then a person I was dating at the time, when we would watch gaming stuff together, he was like, oh, you could do that. You should do that. So he gave me like my first mixer mic. And then I was using my work laptop to stream. And my PlayStation, I was using like the Bluetooth whatever, I forget what it's called, the PS4 Bluetooth thing
Right.
to put, no, not even a camera, the gaming thing. Like there's a Bluetooth thing that you can have it go to
exactly.
I was using that. I can't remember what it's called, but I was using that on my work laptop. And like, I think I had like a monitor or whatever. And I enjoyed it. And I think I started streaming probably I can't remember if it was in April. It might have been before that. But I started streaming now. I think I got affiliate in like April. So it was really because someone was like, you could do that. And my original plan was to do YouTube and do fitness and gaming on there, fitness, beauty, and gaming on there. And then Twitch was going to be a side thing. But that was completely reversed. Twitch is my main platform. And now I'm trying to get my feet under me on YouTube. So.
Wow. Okay. That's actually really interesting to know. And it's always funny because so many people never go just like smack dab into like Twitch first or into like gaming first. Like
Mm-hmm.
even with me, like I was music first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I only went on Twitch just to see what I could do with like different music and like being a producer and things like that, or like work on film and scripts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, gaming, and somebody was like, yo, you should get into gaming and play some games and showcase your personality. And then just like you, everything flipped on its head, and now I prioritize Twitch over many of my other things.
Mm-hmm.
With that, to piggyback on what you were said and to go into like the next question, do you now with being a partner and on Twitch and having the Twitch be your number one platform, and like you said, trying to get your feet wet back into YouTube and even things like TikTok and back into Instagram and things, do you find that now harder to transition? Even though like you had the mindset for content on those platforms first, do you now kind of find it harder to transition from Twitch into those other three?
Yes. So for me, it's easier for me to do live content than it is for me
Mm,
to do pre-recorded content. I don't know why, but if you look at some of my pre-recorded videos, you can tell I'm nervous because I don't know why, but it's just more nerve-wracking for me to do it pre-recorded than to do it live. Like I'm much more of, I guess, myself when I'm live than when I am when it's pre-recorded. And also, I think since I've been on Twitch and up until now, YouTube has changed a lot.
yeah.
So it's harder. It feels harder for me to, I guess, get like the kind of growth that I'm expecting as being someone who's been around for the past like 5 years. So it's a little discouraging, I will say, going from Twitch to YouTube, but yeah, I'm doing it anyway. So
I feel that. I trust and believe because now we are, because like you, I didn't start Twitch until about 2018 or so.
Mm-hmm.
At
Same
least,
time for me.
right.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like I probably didn't take it seriously until like maybe a year after, like 2019. I kind of maybe just jumped on it here and there, and was like, and then I was like, maybe I should take this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But there, of course, we are now after the funnel of it becoming the new, like I always say, like streaming and content creation is like the new SoundCloud rapper in a sense
Mm-hmm.
of a way, where because like, and I feel like before the pandemic, everybody was like SoundCloud rapper. Like that was the most oversaturated. Like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing somebody share a SoundCloud link.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after the pandemic, and I feel because of that big boom that oversaturated both YouTube and Twitch and even TikTok,
Yeah.
now everybody, may have a YouTube channel or may have a Twitch channel,
Yep.
and or even just be a TikTok creator or whatever. And how do you kind of, because to me, I view your content, like even when I'm in your streams, and I view your content as unique. You do, it does seem effortless to you.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing that, like, you do get nervous on pre-recorded content, how do you kind of rummage and still run through to get things done, and by still being unique in your content?
I take a shot.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Not all the time, but there has been times where I'm like, let me just take a shot before I record this video and clear the nerves. Cause I don't smoke or anything like that.
Right.
And I don't drink hard liquor. I mostly drink wine. So sometimes I'll just take a shot of tequila and then I'll be fine. But I'll still be nervous, but it helps me loosen up a little bit easier. But no, I just have to, like, I don't know. I have to, I guess, just like rummage through it and tell myself, it like it'll all be okay, pretty
Right.
much, I guess. And just sometimes I have to make myself think about, like, this is how you act when you're live, so do that.
Right.
So it's more of me being in my head than doing anything, I will say, like, physically, to get myself more comfortable with doing pre-recorded content. And it's been, maybe I will say, I think I started taking my YouTube seriously last year. And since then, it's been easier. And as someone who's surrounded by a bunch of people who are on YouTube, that's what they tell me. It's like, it'll get easier over time. Once you do it more and more, you'll get used to doing it. I haven't done any pre-recorded content for YouTube in a while.
Right.
So we'll see, because I do have to do one soon. There's one that I'm planning to do.
Okay.
But I'm still, like, I talk myself out of it because I'm like, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. Like, but if they don't like it, so I just have to and you just have to do it. If I'm giving advice to anyone about doing it, you just do it. It's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but once you do it enough, you'll get used to it.
I feel that. Do you feel that it helps or hinders in your thought process of doing different content on these different platforms, even though, because the number one goal is to continue growing and continue building a community.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like it may help or hinder, like if you go live and then put out a pre-recorded YouTube video and then also do something for IG Reels and TikTok, where you kind of know, at least in some percentage, your community is kind of in the same, like they'll watch you from these three different forms of content? Do you feel like that helps, where it's like, okay, even if I seem nervous on YouTube, they know who I am, so they know what I'm capable of and what my potential is. I'm just, it's just getting through the nerves of this.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you feel like it kind of hinders, where it's like people may question, like, why are you so nervous, when they kind of feel like they know you a bit more because of your live interactions?
I think it helps.
Okay.
Because I think it's more relatable.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people that watch me are also creators. So they pretty much know how it is to do things like live and how it is to do things pre-recorded, like some of them. And for the average viewer, that probably makes me a little bit more relatable to them, because it's like, oh, I'm not this perfect creator
Right.
who knows how to do all these different things. No, I'm still someone who gets nervous about recording and putting out content. Like, I'm just the average person
Right.
making content for your enjoyment. And there are still some things that I get nervous about.
That's dope. And that's true, because one of the things that I will always commend you on, and even, you know, you keep me on the up to know with, because you're I do appreciate that you are vocal in the ups and downs of algorithms, and engagement, and see, when they play in your face, like I've
Mm-hmm.
seen, like and how do you like how do you kind of go through those battles? Like, how do you kind of, like, are you trying to, does that kind of make you like want to go a little harder, or just kind of want to take a step back just to kind of see like how engagement fluctuates? Because I definitely understand, like, I know even in like some recent talks you talked about like how some people don't see your YouTube shorts, which I definitely, like, I subscribe to you on two different channels and I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like when I was saying the other day, where I was like, I unsubscribed and I resubscribed, and then it re-pushed everything out. So
Mm-hmm.
like hearing like, or being on the opposite end and seeing like those type of challenges of just like algorithms and things that you may or may not be able to control, more than you're able to at least have some control over how you present yourself in these contents. Does that kind of give you that does that contribute to the nervousness at all too, or
Um, I wouldn't say it contributes to the nervousness. It contributes to my frustration and my irritation with these platforms.
that's
But
a fact.
for me, it's like for TikTok for a little while, I think that's the platform that I despise the most, to be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the
because a
belief.
lot of the things that they push and do on there does not make any sense to me. And I have had a battle with their moderation tools where I had a bunch of stuff, like I had thousands of views on a couple of videos, and someone did like fake copyright strikes on my videos and they just took them down. So I
Right.
have videos up right now that other people can't see that have community violations on it because someone did a copyright strike to it. And you can appeal it and they won't do anything about it.
That's
And they'll say,
amazing.
oh, we're going to keep it up here anyway. But long story short, um, it makes me upset. But at the end of the day, I think this is what like a thought process that I've come to recently is that I'm just going to keep going. Like, I'm just going to keep doing it no matter what, because I know there's people out there who like my content and who actually engage with my content,
Right.
and they really enjoy what I do. So I'm like, I might as well just keep on going, keep doing it.
Right.
And if I'm at the point now where it's like, if I get thousands of followers, I get thousands of followers. If I don't, it is what it is. Like, I know that I did my best. I make sure that I put out quality content. So if people like it, they like it. If the algorithms mess with it, it messes with it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I really feel like it's all right now just a shot in the dark, because
Right.
as much as people try to say, oh, you should do this and this and that on these platforms to trick the algorithm, they don't really know. They're just putting some shit out there to, just get some engagement and make it seem like they know what they're talking about. But they probably watched the video just like everyone else, of
Right.
someone telling you, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and that'll help boost your no one knows for real.
That's a fact.
So you just keep going, just keep doing, keep doing. If you really enjoy it and you have a passion for it, just keep doing it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's something that you have, even that thought process, like, because there's definitely like even on smaller creators uh, like myself, um where like I'm like, oh, algorithm be kicking my ass, but like I'm like, okay, I see that you're not alone there, and I think that
Hmm.
that's important for many creators in this space, is just to keep pushing and to keep growing. Now, with that, I do want to shift gears just more into like the mindset of content creation for you, and the ups and the downs, because there's definitely positives and negatives. There's helps and hindrances, and there's beauty in everything at some
Hmm.
point. So like, with and I always like to do a just a mental health check on people that inspire me, because that's people that I care about.
Hmm.
So with that, how does content creation kind of help you with your mental health? Because I know it's something that you love to do, and there's a care for it.
Hmm.
So how do you deal with the balancing of like a day job, and being social and being active in outside of content creation, while also balancing content creation and the ups and downs of that in itself?
Honestly, I don't have a balance. I have not found that balance. Okay. So
Okay.
let's start there. Secondly, it's mental health wise, it's an uphill battle with sometimes you have to make yourself be okay with like not getting picked for things, not necessarily being recognized for some of the things that you do, and just powering through that and making sure you continue with getting your passion out there to the people that you want to enjoy it. Because there have been times where I've been very discouraged. It's been times where I've wanted to quit. It's been times where I'm like, I have a career outside of this. I can just go and do that. But because I'm not that person who's all about corporate life, that's not something that I want to do.
Right.
So, um, I think more recently I've been a little bit more okay with realizing that I'm not going to be selected for everything, and I'm not going to maybe get as much growth as others have gotten. And my passion for wanting to do gaming and makeup and roller skating is what keeps me going and keeps me making content about it.
Right.
And the fact that other people come and tell me, oh, I like seeing you do this. Like more recently, I've been sharing pictures of me at the gym. And that's been a battle for me for the past couple of years, body image wise.
Right.
And like I said, like that was what I was going to start with fitness. And I will say I won't say I completely stopped, but I didn't work out and try to be fit and healthy as much as I was before I started creating content. So um me getting back into it and sharing it with people and having people say, oh, your pictures are helping motivate me is what helps me to keep going. So hearing that you make great content or I enjoy your content, I like when you do XYZ is what mentally helps me to keep going. And also me having a talk with myself and saying like, oh, you may not be recognized for this shit. It's people who are like big celebrities who don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Right.
So me, just your average whoever, um, trying to make a name for myself, I have to make myself okay with knowing that I'm not always going to be selected for certain things. So that was something that I had to sit with, I will say, towards the end of last year, because I think last year, I won't say I got quiet, but last year I wasn't doing as much as I'm doing right now. And it's
Right.
because I let that get to me. So, um, yeah, you will have those up and downs. There will be point in times where you are not okay.
Right.
And it may seem like it's really hard for you to get what you want and get what you deserve. But again, if you have a passion for it, if it's something that you really want to do and you really want to share, you will just try to, I guess, work through that and keep yourself going.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And That's definitely a really great way to take on that, because something that like even things that you may not think motivate other people until you may get that validation or have somebody message you like, yeah, this does motivate me, because shit, your fitness thing motivate me, and I'm like, let me get in the let me get in the gym. Like, and that's one of the best ways to look at it, is as long as like there's a spark in your passion, you can always kind of have that flame for it, and
Mhm.
that fire can burn for a long time.
Mhm.
Now, with I wanted to like talk into like the positives of your content, and things like what makes you really want to like, how are some different ways that you kind of sat down and was like, these are, because I'm passionate about this, this is the way I kind of want to do content. Because one of the coolest things I've seen you do is like you pick like a color for like
Mhm.
a period of time, or there's like a month for like a color. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, your most recent one was like a pink. I don't know my
Mhm.
colors like that. So don't
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was peak. It's peak.
See, I paid attention. I just didn't know. I was like, she gonna kill me
Mhm.
if it's not like a certain color of pink. But but what that's a unique thing to do too. And that actually inspired me to a point where like I do, like for instance, seeing you do that, like last TwitchCon, I done like a theme for like just that weekend. I wore like only dunk clothes, because
Mhm.
I kind of like this theme thing that Betty do, and I was like, I kind of want to do something like that. So like
Mhm.
having like ideas like that and incorporating them and seeing the engagement and the looks that you do from that, and because I never knew how many looks you could do with pink. I don't know nothing about makeup. So like I don't know nothing about wigs. Oh, nothing. Um and but like, even I kid you not, like even I know I kid you not, like one of the show on your streams where I used to watch, where like you have somebody on and y'all both do makeup
Mhm.
together. I was like, I do that show just to even learn, like, cause I think it's different, like just to
Uh-huh.
even learn. Like, I don't know shit, so you would have to walk me through it. I'd be like, what's this?
Mhm.
But like, I
Mhm.
will buy it and literally like, because I just think is something
I
cool to
may take you
do.
up on that.
Yeah,
I may
hell
take you
yeah,
up on
hell yeah, I
it.
would do it, and that's just to show, because it's not like I'm gonna be out here doing it, but it's like,
Mhm.
which is nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that, but it's like I don't know shit about it. But so I was like,
Uh-huh.
it'd be just a cool way to, because it's unique and it's something that I've seen you do, and I think that's one of the coolest things. So like content like that, where you incorporate beauty and makeup and hair in your streaming, and the way you do it on TikTok, where you show how you do your certain looks
Mhm.
for the month, with the certain color themes. Like, what made you kind of think, this is the way I can be in these realms of gaming and beauty, but still be BettyNixx?
Uh, so I usually get my inspiration from Pinterest, or just scrolling my explore page, because on Instagram my explore page is nails, hair, and makeup. Like, that algorithm knows the heck out of me, because that's really all I like to look at on there. But I like, so I won't say I'm that like aesthetic girl where everything is like beige and light greens and like the pastel color. I'm not
Right.
that girl. I love color.
Right.
So I've always been like a very colorful person. Like, I like colored hair, I like colored nails, I like loud nails, I like loud jewelry, clothes, I like all that stuff. So one of the ways that I wanted to show like, this is me, this is the type of person that I am, was to do the themes. There was a
Mhm.
point in time, I think, when was that? That was a while ago, when I was doing those themed, like I would do like a mood board with the color that I was doing for that week. I was doing my own nails, I was doing my own hair, and I was doing my makeup and taking my own pictures. So,
Whew.
after a while, it came to be a lot because I do have a 9 to 5.
Right.
So, it came to be a lot for me to do because I was trying to do like 3 looks a week, and trying to do all of that for each look was a lot. So I
Right.
stopped doing it. But one of the ways that I was trying to bring that back, because I have had a couple people tell me, oh, I liked when you did XYZ. I liked when you did those theme looks. I liked trying to guess what color you were going to do that next week. So I said, you know what I'll do? I'll do it to where I match my press-on nails to my looks. So I bought a bunch of press-on nails. I haven't completed it. I only did it with, I think so far I've only done blue, and then I had pink. But February is a very busy month for me every year, and I wanted to do it for Valentine's, and since that's like the lovers month or whatever,
Right.
but it was too busy. I got sick and I just couldn't do it. So I said,
Right.
you know what, for the month of March, I'll do all pink looks. And that's just what I've been trying to do. It's mostly, I like matchy things. So I like being able to match my hair to my nails, to my eyes, to my clothes. I like being able to do that.
Thanks.
So that's where that came from.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah, see, that's
Mhm.
dope. Like, and to just get like an inner looking on the thought process of that is dope, because like you, I just like to match. It's like when I go out, like I just like to match. Like I work,
Mhm.
for me, instead of nails, I work my sneakers up. So like I
Mhm.
gotta match. I gotta match my sneakers. I can't fuck
Yeah.
around with that. Like I can't do that.
I understand. I
Like,
completely understand that.
like I can't. And correct me if I'm wrong. Please do. You're also a New Jersey native, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. See, I fucked with you. I knew I fucked with you. You know what I mean? Newark, New
Yeah.
Jersey, right here. I'm here.
Yeah.
So, how did like, what about like, I know, being a New Jersey native, and there's different personalities. Like I always recognize a New Jersey personality when I come across a New Jersey personality. I don't care
Mhm.
if you left. I noticed it. So with that, like, just talk to me about like how, just growing up, and even from, where you're at now, how
Mhm.
has that kind of change your, like, the way you, like just personality wise, like the way you kind of saw and move into like different content, like, maybe you just have, with different viewpoints of, from where you grew up to where you are,
Mhm.
and how that has changed.
Um, it hasn't. I don't think my viewpoint has changed because I'm from Trenton, so
Ooh.
that's the hood, of course,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So like, I will say I've grown out of the thought process I may have had when I first moved to North Carolina, because
Okay.
I did leave to go to college in what was I, 18, whatever.
Okay.
So how I was when I first got here compared to now is night and day. So, and I don't know if it's like because I've been exposed to something other than Trenton, Jersey,
Right.
or if it's because I've gotten older. It's probably a combination of both.
Right.
But one of the things that I always say, and that I probably have not said enough, is that I kind of do what I do and do the content thing to just as a show for people back home that if this is something that you want to do, this is something that you can do. If you're
Yes.
into anime, you're into anime. If you're into video games, you're into video games. You don't have to be into a bunch of the hood shit
Right.
for you to make it or
Right.
whatever. You don't have to do just a 9 to 5 that's and work in the same place that everybody else in the town was working in. You can go do other shit on the side and do like content things if you wanted to. Like this is not something that's, I guess you can say, I guess people will call it weird
Right.
or something that is different. Like this is not that like this is something that other people, like people from where I'm from, can do and make a living from it. So that's one of my motivations for it, and also showing like my brother and sister, like my brother, not my brother, my sister's getting into content creation. Oh. And she tries to do like styling stuff, and she's also into hair, and she's like me. Right. She's also into a bunch of the stuff. She's just not into makeup like that. She's into like hair and nails and styling and stuff. So I do it to show her like I can help you like do these type of things, or this is, you see your older sister doing it, you can do it too. Right. So, but to answer your question about my viewpoint from then to now, I feel like I've come a very long way, because there was a point in time where I couldn't afford any of the shit that I have in this room right now. I couldn't afford makeup like that. I couldn't afford a lot of the hair that I buy. Right. So it's like, it's sometimes it's, I'm thankful for it. And I have moments where I'm like really appreciative for how far I've come and me being able to do these things and, make money from it. And, also know that I can probably make more money from it. So, yeah, I'm just really appreciative.
No, that's actually incredible, because, you know, same. I only have an older brother, so he already don't give a fuck. Like he don't give a fuck. But like, you know, I do have like, you know, younger cousins and just, you know, people in the area that I grew up in, and just to showcase like, okay, like, you know, there is some level of growth and success in doing things just another way. And I think that's one of the things. And like you said, you're definitely going to continue making money and success off of this. I'm 100% positive that we're getting a beauty line by BettyNixx sometime in the future. I know it. I feel it. And I'm a cop it. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. But you know, with things like growth, how do you feel about the, you know, I know like with trying to, you know, with the expansion of, you know, TikTok and YouTube and still the growth on Twitch, what is your like hopes for, you know, the success of BettyNixx, the brand?
So I do want to at some point have like either my own brand of like brushes or a makeup palette, because one of the things that I like to do is collect makeup palettes. And I don't get to use them all. I really just have them and I just hold on to them. If it's like special releases, I just have them. I just hold on to them. But that is something that I want to get into. And it's funny because I just went to see my hairstylist. I hadn't seen her in like a year and some change. And she was telling me like, I think you should do like a beauty palette. You could do your own beauty palette. You could be like, I think it's called the Crayola case, whatever. It's some girl that's on Instagram who sells makeup, and it sells out every time she restocks it. And my hairstylist was like, you could do that. So I was like, maybe I could. And someone else, my partner in crime, AG Barbie, she also said the same thing. I think you should do a beauty line at some point. So
I'm saying the same thing
that
too.
is yeah, now you're saying the same thing. Yeah. So that is something that I do want to get into and have my own like beauty line. And I don't know. I don't really have, I will say, an end goal, because I came into this not expecting anything and not really having any type of like growth goals or any type of like following or anything like that. I will say monetarily, I do want to be able to make a living wage off of this, because at the moment I'm not.
Right.
As much as I've gotten recognition, been on billboards, been in magazines, stuff like that, I don't make a lot of money from this.
Right.
And that's why I have to continue to have a 9 to 5 while I do this. So I will say my main goal is to be able to make a living wage off the one that matches the salary that I have at my main job. Because right now I couldn't even tell you if I'm making minimum wage. I don't think I am. So
Right.
yeah, that's one of my main goals. Yeah.
That's fine. Because that's a good point, because nowadays making a lot of people, and I hate this. I hate it with a passion. And I get it. I get the impact over numbers. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. But damn, it'd be nice to get a damn paycheck. Like, you know, like in a hefty one. Like, it'd be nice to all the passion and all the work that you do put into this. A lot of people having it become a full-time career, it is a very good way of validation for that. Like, it just is. And I don't think anybody should shy away from that as a goal. And I think a lot of people do, and I kind of think it's a little, I get it, but I feel like it's a little bit of lying to yourself, just a bit. Like, it's okay to say you want to make some goddamn money off this. Like, you put a lot into it. 2K up PCs, different monitors, mixers that cost $700 goddamn dollars. Like, it's okay. Like, you know, it's okay to want to get some monetary gain from this.
Right.
And that's why I appreciate you in being just unapologetically yourself. Like, one thing I can say about BettyNixx is you don't run from not a motherfucking person. Like, you know, and not even like some negative way. It's just like you stand on who you are and what you represent and what you want to represent and how you want to grow.
Yeah.
Has there been times where you felt maybe like have you ever felt like you should delve that down? Have you ever felt like, damn, like, am I doing too much me? Like, how's that going?
I have. I think when I first came around, it was a bit of like a culture shock for me, because a lot of things, and I mean, it's still that way. A lot of things about the Twitch, I guess, community or the Twitch like culture just didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand it. I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, bro. I'm from the hood. Like, a lot of this stuff, like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't understand it.
A lot of politics that we don't do over here.
Yeah, the emo talk and the, like, just how it seems like a lot of the people who are on these platforms are like chronically online people. And I've never been that person. Like, I've always been someone who's been very active. I've always been someone who's always been outside. Right. And so coming into this space where there are a lot of, I guess, introverts and people who are into like more gaming and anime than I have ever been privy to, it was kind of weird for me. Right. I am an extrovert. I am someone who can be pretty loud, and I'm not that quiet, emo, like e-girl type of person. Right. I'm not that type of person. I don't know a lot of these YouTubers. I don't know a lot of people that most of like your favorite streamer or whatever who would know. Right. Because that's just not how I was. That's not how I grew up. I won't say grew up, but that's not how I will say spent my time. Right. Because after graduating and going like straight to work and then going to graduate school, I didn't have time to sit and watch YouTubers or keep up with YouTubers like that, or figure out what Twitch was and be on Twitch like that. I didn't have time to do all that stuff. So I've always been the person who was like the type of person who was outside, who was always going out and stuff like that. So my personality, I think, would throw a lot of people off. Like I have so many people who will be like, "Oh, you're loud and you're yelling," and I'm like, "I'm not. Like I'm really not. I don't
Chilling.
understand why you're sitting here telling me that I'm loud and I'm upset and things like that when I'm not.
Right.
I'm just chilling."
Right.
And I can say like I don't think there's been a time on this platform where anyone has seen me actually upset. So, I don't know. It's taken some adjusting. It's definitely taken some adjusting. And sometimes I have felt like I don't fit into this space. Like I've said that. I've been vocal about that. I've said that on Twitter a couple times where I'm like, I don't think I fit in here.
Right.
Like I don't think sometimes I don't think like this is the place for me. So after a while, it's just been like I've had people tell me like I enjoy your personality. You have a personality that kind of draws people in.
Right.
So you should keep going. You do fit into this space. So just keep on doing what you do. So, you know, it's been an adjustment. It's taken some time um to get myself okay with knowing that I may not be everyone's cup of tea. And that's just it. Like that's just what it's going to be.
And that's facts. And that's perfectly fine too, because I think the people that try to or want to appeal to everybody are going to be the ones that find themselves lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to lose a lot of yourself trying to have a part of every personality that you see on the internet. And then you're going to lose yourself. You're not going to have any personality of you left. And with you being like an extrovert, does that draw you like away from like because I know we met in person at one TwitchCon. I think the one before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you went to the most recent TwitchCon.
No, I didn't.
Right, yeah. I don't,
Mm-mm.
was that like hell freeze, or you
That
was
was
like not fucking with it?
2019.
Yeah.
I am a person who does not mess with COVID like that.
Facts. Facts.
So if there's anything where it's like I have to be around a bunch of people, now I get anxious. So going out and having to be like I just recently went out for my birthday and we went to
Hey,
a barcade and it was super smack. Like it was hella people in there. And it seems like every time I go out, I kid you not, every time I go out and I'm around a bunch of people, I get sick. So
Ooh.
I've probably had COVID twice, maybe 3 times. So
Sheesh.
yeah. So I'm just like, I'm just going to stay in the house. Like the only
I'm
place
not
I go,
fucking with you.
the only places I go now is to the gym, and I may go to like a bar or something every now and then with my friends, but other than that, I don't go out as often as I used to. And it's
Gotcha.
strictly because of the pandemic. It's
Yeah.
because of that. So I do want to go to like TwitchCon in Vegas, and I was thinking of going to DreamCon, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay, well, if you
So
do go, I see you there. I'm definitely I'm definitely going to them. Um
mhm.
like you, I'm like, yo, cuz once I heard that like COVID, like people lost like hella weight off COVID, and I'm like, if I lose hella weight, I disappear. So I'm not trying I'm not trying to fuck with that. Like
Yeah.
so like fuck that shit. But you know, definitely health wise, like I try to my best to just make sure I stay healthy, because that scared me too, especially when I was like, oh, y'all not doing restrictions on this? Like what are we
Mhm.
talking about here?
Right.
Um, but at least like, you know, personality wise, like there's nothing that like personality wise that like draws you, like not feeling like you're part of the community, that doesn't draw you away from conventions and stuff,
Mm-mm.
right?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No. Because so what I found myself I guess my way of coping with kind of being the outlier in this community, I found people who are pretty much like me and
Yeah.
can handle my personality. So if they're going to the convention, I can say I'll go to the convention. But I also have no problem with going places and meeting people.
Facts.
So I can go to a convention and not know anybody, and I'll probably come out of there with a friend. So
That's a fact.
it doesn't bother me that much, knowing that I'm probably like the oddball out of the bunch, because I have no problem with actually talking to people outside of the internet.
I fucks with that.
So
That's dope.
the thing that'll deter me from going to these conventions is money. That's what'll deter me. Me being able to get there. That is what'll deter me.
That's a fact. Cause like definitely, and this is a message to Twitch. Like I would love to see you like booked for things at TwitchCon. Like I think your personality is needed in this space. I think it's welcomed in this space.
Thank you.
At least for me, I appreciate it in this space, and I know I can speak
as a
for
fellow New
many
Jerseyan.
others. As a fellow New Jerseyan, you know, I'm here, you know, and of course, you know, just on a fellow New Jersey, I love to see other people from New Jersey win. But you know, even if you know we weren't from the same Garden State, you know, just your personality and the way you inspire people, and like your, you know, just like I've been saying, you know, being unapologetically yourself, like you always want people like that to just win, you know, and I root for you every single time. I do. And
Thank you.
I be in there, and I'm be engaging, and I be lurking, because I sometimes I be getting ready or working my damn self in my own 9 to 5. But I be like, I be fucking with it. And I was watching your Returnal gameplay and stuff too, where you're a better person than me, because I can't play that goddamn game. That game frustrates the fuck out of me.
Well, you know, I play the Souls games, so that Returnal is actually not that bad for me.
You got me into Elden Ring, and I hate Souls games, but I saw you play an Elden Ring, and I was like, this shit gotta look fun. Let me go cop. And now I max level on like 3 different builds. I just finished a bow only challenge.
It's fun. Elden Ring was a fun game. Yeah, Elden Ring was fun. They did their thing with that one. That it had a bunch of people. Like it deserved being Game of the Year. It deserved that. Yeah, because it had a bunch of people who normally would not play a Souls game playing Souls games. So
thank you. What other games do you like fuck with? Like, are you getting? I know you play some horror games here and there. What other games are you like fucking with the most nowadays?
I've been RPing, unfortunately. I just got back into Sims. I've been on Sims like really, really heavy. It's like RP Simmer. That's really what it is. Like a bunch of people who are Simmers are in RP, but I'm kind of like slowly moving away from RP and more into like Sims, and I've been playing Returnal. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a while, but that's one of my other favorite games. And a lot of people who know me associate Monster Hunter in like the Souls games with me. And what else have I been playing? I have to look at my computer because I mostly have all of the games that I'm playing downloaded. Disney Dreamlight is another game that's like I don't really do any content with that, but that's like my comfort game. Yeah. So I have a Steam Deck, so whenever I'm like about to go to bed, that's my game that I play before I go to bed. If I just feel like sitting on the couch, that's the game that I play just sitting on my couch. When I went home for Christmas, I literally sat on my mom's couch for about 2-3 days just playing Disney Dreamlight with my niece and nephew. So yeah, I typically play a bunch of games at once because there's always games coming out and always things that people want to see. And then I am a person who like games that has a lot of replay value. So a game like Monster Hunter is something that will always be in my rotation because that's a game that I can always go back to. And I also like challenging games. So a game like Returnal, a game like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or any type of roguelikes are like my jam. So
I fucks with that. Does that help you? Because something that like I do sometimes too, that kind of like that I have trouble with is like there's always that portion of the year where like new games are so dried out. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing coming down. Like it's that weird like nothing comes out before like the holiday season. So
Mm-hmm.
like creating like being a content creator and playing games on Twitch, like how do you kind of balance like some of the games that you need to that like when there's no new games coming out, like how do you keep content, curating?
I have a crazy backlog. That's really all I can say. I have a really crazy, but like it's bad. So, I'm also someone who's known to not finish games. So the games that I don't finish, depending on what people want to see, I'll go back and play that game.
Okay.
So, and then I'm also really into multiplayer games. So I do play a lot of games like Overwatch, or there was a point in time where I was super obsessed with Apex and I would play that a lot. Um, so it's either a multiplayer game, like a game that I can play with the community or with my friends, or it's a game that I probably should have finished months ago that I didn't finish. That's how I get over that lag. But the challenge, the actual challenge is me trying to fit in a new game like Resident Evil 4 that just came out when I want to play Returnal in The Sims. So that's what I'm battling with right now. I'm like, do I want to put this game on YouTube? Do I want to stream it? Do I want to just say F it and just play The Sims or just play Returnal so I can finish this game out? So that's the challenge. It's filling that lag is not a problem for me. It's
Got you.
making sure I keep up with what's hot right now, like Resident Evil 4. That yeah.
Ooh, no, I feel you. I feel you because I always try to because like I do like a lot of franchise plays where like I do like
Mm-hmm.
games like trilogies and more. So like I did all of the Resident Evil before 8 came out. I did Resident Evil 1 all the way to Resident Evil 8. So
Mm-hmm.
like finished 7 right like the week before 8 came out, then played that. So
Mm-hmm.
trust and believe. I'm with you there. Like when them new games join in, and I'm like in the middle of it because right now I'm doing Tomb Raider, and then like Resident Evil 4 came out, and I'm like, and people are like, "Yo, you playing that?" I'm like, um, but I appreciate that. And getting into our last two segments here, I want to know, and I know we talked about this a little bit, but what are some things that you want to do as far as like success? Like if there's any certain brands you want to work with, certain people you want to collab with, what is in certain content that you want to put out? What is next for BettyNixx?
um I think right now I'm trying to balance the gaming and the beauty.
Mhm.
So, what I'm looking to do, like moving forward, or what I've been trying to get myself into doing is doing more content on my beauty stuff, because I put a lot of that to the side to do the gaming things.
Right.
So, what I'm looking to do is to collab with more like makeup brands and do different types of reels, and how I've done the color series that I did before, like last year,
Right.
and continue what I've been trying to do this year, and bringing that to like maybe a makeup company and trying to work with them. Like I'm on PR lists for certain brands, but I haven't really gotten any I will say like sponsorships or any
Partnerships.
collaborations for
Right.
promotion from that many makeup brands, but that's something that I would like to do. So that's something that I'm probably going to look towards doing more of. So you can probably expect more beauty content from me,
Fuck with
because the
that.
gaming stuff, that's just like regular for me now.
Right.
The challenge for me now is like getting my beauty stuff up to par to where I can be invited to like uh events that the beauty companies have.
Right.
So that's what I'll be doing next is more like beauty content, and hopefully gaming wise, I do get to work with some brands. Like I want to work with AMD because that's the only CPU I've had since I started gaming.
Oh,
And
okay.
one of the things that I also do is put computers together. So
Yes.
um that's something that I also would like to do is work with AMD. And I don't know, that's really it. I usually just take it one day at a time. I'm not someone who's super that's a super planner. Like I kind of and sometimes it's something that bites me in the ass. But I as far as like this goes, I don't really have that much of a I want to do this by this time. I do have a few brands that I want to work with
Right.
and a few brands where it's like everyone else's dream brand is not like the brands that I want to work with. So
I feel that.
um yeah, you pretty much have to just watch me and see what I do next. Pretty
We
much.
definitely will. We definitely will. And
Hmm.
the last segment before I let you go, the last segment is, I know we talked a lot about, different mind states and ups and downs and what you want to do and this, that, and the third. But I like to call this segment, I gave you flowers in the beginning, but I like to call this segment Talk Your Shit,
Hmm.
where all that humble shit that you kind of just said, yeah, throw that shit out the window. I want I want you to unapologetically no hold down, no nothing, no well, this was might have been cool, nothing like that.
Hmm.
Talk your shit about all the accomplishments that you have come to see in, this industry of content creation. And I am gonna hype you up. I'm gonna hype you up. And so be loud with it, be proud with it,
Uh-huh.
and talk your shit. Do your thing.
Well, I will say there are some things that I forget I've done until someone else reminds me.
Okay.
So,
Look, you
yeah.
done so much shit. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
So,
Like,
yeah, I had Tumblr reach one. I think one of the first things that I had was Tumblr reached out to me. I have a
okay.
feature with Tumblr that came around the same time that I got partnered on Twitch.
Okay.
And then my partnership on Twitch, that really just came out of nowhere. I could say I didn't even apply.
Okay. Okay.
And
Oh,
then,
okay. Like your shit. Hold on.
uh, let's see what else. I've worked with Twitch on many occasions. I've
Okay.
been on their weekly show maybe like 2 times.
Yep.
I've been on panels.
Yep.
I interviewed and have worked with what is she, the CEO of is she the CEO? Anastasia Beverly Hills?
Yes.
Norvina. I've worked with
Yes.
Norvina. I've sat and done my makeup with Norvina. Like,
Okay.
come
Okay.
on.
Okay. Talk
I
your
was on
shit
a
out loud.
billboard in Times Square, which was also an activation with Twitch.
Let's
So
go.
Twitch people, I won't say Twitch knows who I am, but people at Twitch know who I am.
Okay.
I've been in Allure magazine,
Let's talk
and
about.
I've met the editor in charge and have interacted on a few occasions with editor in charge at Allure.
I
Um,
fucks with that. I fucks with
what
you. Talk
else?
your
What else
shit,
have I
Eddie.
done? I was on the news for Charlotte. They
You
had me on
what?
the news.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have another interview that I did with a company called The Tilt.
Okay.
And one of my biggest things is that I'm in the ad for Google. If you go to
Yes.
fiber.google.com/Charlotte,
Yeah.
I'm up there.
Let's
So,
talk your shit,
so
Betty.
yeah, I've done a few things for me, and I have to remind myself that this is not something that I do full time. I have people who think I'm full time because of the things that I've accomplished, and I'm not. So this is all of the shit that I've accomplished, and I'm not even like giving it my all.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
So,
That's a bar. Nah, hold up. I'm done. That's a fucking bar. That's a bar and a half. Not you. I know you didn't just bar me down like that. I know you didn't just bar me down like that. Shit. Like, Betty, that was incredible. Thank you for talking your shit. I always like to end it on that because it's just, I want people to give themselves a reminder too on how motherfucking dope they are. And you
Mhm.
are just a fucking dope person. You are a dope person, a dope
Thank you.
streamer, a dope beauty guru, and I will champion you as far as I can.
I appreciate
Um,
it.
I
Thank
thank
you.
you. And y'all, thank y'all for watching another episode of Per-Sception. Still in season 3. This is an amazing season, an amazing episode. Literally one of my favorites. Betty, you're a top tier. You're goated. Goated.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And of course, all of BettyNixx content will be in links in the description below. So please check her out. She's literally one of the greatest. And from New Jersey to New Jersey, y'all better put respect on New Jersey's name. So go fucking check her out. Like, come on now. And y'all can check her out pretty much everywhere. BettyNixx, right?
Yes,
There
I'm
you go.
BettyNixx everywhere.
There
Yep.
you go. And y'all go check her out. And y'all check me out on Twitch at RenaMarq. This is also YouTube at RenaMarq. And I'll catch y'all next episode. Peace, y'all.